everybody, this is Hornlitz here, and welcome back for more Let's Glitch The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. In the last episode, we cleared out Zora's Hall and did a bunch of other random stuff, and in this episode, we are going to be doing the entirety of Great Bay Temple. And it's a really hard one. But yeah, anyways, right off the bat here, we actually have a glitch that we're going to be doing. We're just playing the New Wave Bossa Nova here for Lulu, but right here, we have to pause. So yeah, basically right there, a cutscene is supposed to start, but abusing the fact that cutscenes take 2 frames to start, we are able to pause on the first frame, and then just like the Happy Mask Salesman cutscene skip, we're able to pause through each frame of the that we're moving, and we can just side hop straight into the loading zone here and completely skip the cutscene. So yeah, that is called Turtle Cutscene Skip, and as you'll see, as soon as I actually move out, you'll see that the turtle is actually already loaded, which proves that we actually skipped the cutscene. And yeah, that little setup that we did was basically just to get us close enough to Lulu so that we could play the New Wave Bossa Nova and it would actually start the cutscene, but then it was also close enough to the loading zone that we could just side hop right into it. Now anyways, right here we have another glitch right away. The very first time that you enter Great Bay Temple, there's this sort of small cutscene where these pirates, they get kind of like sucked up into the vortex that's covering the temple. We're going to be skipping that. So basically, now right here, as you can see, I'm sort of standing on this really weird part on the turtle. Yeah, it's not supposed to be like that. The loading zone on top of the turtle isn't actually perfect. It sort of only really covers the middle for some reason. And because of that, also, I failed the trick. Okay, then. But anyways, yeah. Because of that, we're actually able to, if we hookshot the very left of this tree over here, while the tree is basically as far down and left as it possibly can be, you won't actually hit the loading zone. And so then, because of that, we're actually able to drop a bottle and pick it up. And then, if you saw earlier, we did the time stop glitch when I failed it. And we'll be doing it again right here. The method that we used with the Sheikah Stone way back in, like, episode 2 or 3, that's not the only way to do it. I forget if I mentioned that back then. But yeah, it's just one of, I think there are 3 methods that you can use or something. But yeah, basically, because of that, we were able to delay starting the cutscene. Now, right here, I'm actually canceling the time stop glitch by hitting C up, but then of course I have to pause through every frame, just like any cutscene skip is like in this game, pretty much. And then we just have to roll back out here, and so yeah, now you don't see anything's changed really. It doesn't look like you've done anything, but you actually have, because you'll notice that as soon as this cutscene is over, we'll be straight in Great Bay Temple, and that will prove that we have skipped the cutscene. So yeah, that's already really just. Those 2 glitches are already really difficult, and actually the pirate pirate cutscene skip is actually really annoying in any percent. So just trying to beat the game as fast as possible, because you actually don't have a bottle with fish in it or anything. What you have to do is you have to use one of the pots near the save point to actually it holds a fairy, and so you actually have to basically get lucky enough to get it to not hit you while you're trying to set up the whole glitch, basically. And yeah, it's really annoying. But anyways, so yeah, right here already we have our first stray fairy in the dungeon, just in this first room here. And then right over here, I'm actually going and rolling into these barrels. These barrels just have arrows and bombs. We really want some bombs, because explosives are just extremely invaluable in this dungeon. You just need a ton of them. So yeah, that's why I really wanted to go grab bombs there, especially since I was only at like 5 or something. But yeah, anyways, now right as we enter this next room here, we're going to be doing a bit of a trick here. What we want to do is we want to press up really quickly and then drop a chew, and then if you did it from the right position, it should actually blow up the bubble that's underneath this little platform here that has a fairy in it. I do believe I failed it here, though, yeah. So basically, what you're supposed to actually do is, I think you're supposed to go straight, like, kind of in the middle of the door. I was a bit too far to the right. But yeah, if you're in the middle of the door, it should blow up the bubble. It's a really precise trick, pretty much, and it's not a huge deal if you miss it or anything. It's just a bit of a time saver, but I figured I'd go for it just because it's, you know, it's faster. But anyways, and then also, right after I got into this room and dropped the chew, I went and shot the Skulltula that was up in the top corner of the room. That was just because there was another fairy in that one, as you can see right there. So yeah, and then we just need to ride up on this elevator so that we can finally progress in this dungeon. Now, the whole gimmick of this dungeon is that you're supposed to, there are a lot of, like, turn screws, I guess you would call them. Basically, things that you would do, or things that you need to turn to get the water flowing. And ultimately, you're supposed to switch the flow of the water in this dungeon from clockwise to counterclockwise in the next room. And the whole point of this dungeon is we're completely going to skip doing all of that by doing a lot of various tricks, and it's super annoying. But yeah, that little hover that we did there was just the first little turn screw skip, I guess, because you're supposed to just go into the water and turn something to make this little, this water spout come up that you can jump on. But yeah, we're just completely skipping that. So yeah, anyways, now we just want to come up into this top little alcove, or tunnel, I guess, and then completely skip that room there because we don't actually have anything we can do in it quite yet. But then we're going to be coming to this room. Now, this room is a little bit annoying. So the whole point of this room, at least in 100%, is we're supposed to kill all 4 of these Dekubabas, I guess they are. And the annoying thing about them is that each of them has a chance to drop both a nut, like that one right there just dropped a nut, and I think they can also drop Deku sticks. This is bad because we have bottles duplicated over both of our Deku nut and Deku stick slots in our inventory. At least I think. We might not have one over Deku nuts, or Deku sticks, but I think we do. So yeah, that's kind of annoying if you do pick it up, because then you have to reduplicate your bottle, and it just wastes a bunch of time. Now, I mean, I guess if you're just casually trying to complete the 100% run, sort of like I'm doing, then it's not really a big deal. But yeah, it just gets really annoying if you have to keep doing it over and over again. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, that room's done, and now we're into this room. So this room, right now we can't really do a ton in it. This room has the boss key in it, but we can't actually get it quite yet. But there are a couple things that we want to get. There is a small key that we'll be getting right away here. But first, we actually have to come over to this chest and open this up, because this has the, I believe it's the compass. It's either the compass or the map. But yeah, and of course, again, we have to get all of these just because they actually stay when you go back in time. Like, you can't recollect the compass sort of thing. But yeah, anyways. So in this chest down here is the key that I was talking about. That hand right there is really annoying. He always grabs me, and I don't know how to avoid him. But anyways. So yeah, and I just wanted to get a little bit of magic there as well. So yeah, there's our small key, and now we are actually done with this this sort of path through the dungeon. Right after that, we're just going to be going straight back into the whirlpool room, or I guess the whirlpool room, I'll just call it. And then we're going to be going straight down here into the bottom track. And here we have a few things that we can do. So right here, we actually want to come onto this pipe. Now, these pipes are so hard to get onto. It's so annoying. I don't even know a fast way of doing it. But anyways, we got this bomb to here. Come on, get me, come on. There we go, okay. Yeah, that guy, sometimes he notices you right away. Other times he just pretends he doesn't exist. I don't know. But whatever. So yeah, now we're into this this room here. I'll be grabbing a few things here. I don't actually think I need... yeah, I got full bombs. Got full hearts now. I might want to go for... I think you can get some arrows from here as well. Maybe not. Oh well. But anyways, right here we have the first mini-boss of this dungeon. There are actually 2 of them in this one. This is Wart. This is my least favorite mini-boss, or really boss, or any fight in this entire game. It is so annoying. So, right after the fight starts, you'll see that, or actually right now, you're seeing that these little bubbles are sort of starting to circle Wart here. What we have to do is we have to knock those off, but we don't need to knock all of them off or anything. Wart's going to open his eye after a little bit, and we actually want to obviously hit his eye. I mean, what Zelda enemy do you not have to hit the eye of, really? But yeah, anyways, so yeah, right there his eye's open. It actually just closed. I just missed hitting him. But yeah, that's just the issue, is that it's really hard to hit him. The best strategy to use here is actually just to keep throwing bombs at him. But yeah, these little bubbles that keep bouncing around here, they're so good at hitting you. It's impossible to avoid them, really. But yeah, so that's just one reason why I hate this. But yeah. So one more hit of a bomb, actually, right here, and he actually falls to the ground, and all of the bubbles drop off. This is where the fight gets a little even more annoying, because now Wart starts charging at you. And his eye is closed half the time, and these bubbles keep trying to hit you. So yeah, as you can see, this is really annoying. You just kind of have to hit Wart whenever he opens his eyes. You can use arrows or something. I usually just use my sword, because doing a spin attack does just as much, if not more, damage. It is a little harder to hit him, but as you can see, he's already dead. So yeah. But actually, I want to do something I haven't done in a while with you guys. I want to ask you guys a question for you to post in the comments. But I always normally just say, like, what's your favorite this or that? I'm going to change it up a little. What's your least favorite boss or mini-boss in any Zelda game, or even game in general? Actually, yeah, I won't even count Zelda games. Just any mini-boss or boss in any game ever. What's your least favorite one? Post that in the comments. I'd love to hear your answers. But yeah, now that we are done that, we can finally move on with this dungeon. I really need to grab some hearts though, because yeah, I always lose a lot of hearts in that fight. I'm really glad you don't have to do that in the any percent route. But anyways, so yeah, I guess I'll just not have full hearts or something. But anyways, so now we're actually done with this area, and we're going to be going back into the other track actually, because we're done all we can. We really can do here, or actually more like we have everything we need to do more stuff in the other one. And now right here, that stray fairy is the most annoying stray fairy in pretty much the entire game. It's such a hard one to get. I'm actually really surprised I got it really fast there. But yeah, it's annoying. Ooh, I actually got the I got the dive up there. Nice. That's not super easy. But yeah, so that fairy is just really annoying. But anyways, now we just got a hook shot over to here, over to that chest right there, because this one's actually got the dungeon map. I think, yeah, the last one was the compass, so this one's the map. So yeah, right there. And now, what we're supposed to do normally is, well, actually, I won't even say that, because I'm not even quite sure how you're supposed to get to this room normally. I can't quite remember. But basically, this alcove that I'm about to do a hover into, nice job, me. But yeah, that alcove that I'm about to do a hover in there, you're supposed to come out of that, actually. You're supposed to, like, the room that's behind it, you're supposed to go through it from a completely different direction. And then you're supposed to, like, come out of there and get into this room. But yeah, we're just going to be doing a hover into there because we can do that, because why not? But yeah, so this hover's a little bit annoying, though. It's really hard to tell sometimes just how many bombs you need, or how many bomb shoes, and of course, because explosives are really useful in this dungeon, we don't want to use too many, so yeah, getting up here is a little annoying sometimes, but right here I think, I can just do a backflip there and get into this next room here. Alright, and now this room actually, right away, we want to be doing a weird shot. Now, it's been a while since I've done one, I can't quite remember, I think I remember which frames to do it on, but yeah, basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing a weird shot, and then there's a treasure chest that has a fairy in it that's just to the right of us here, and we're going to be hookshotting into that so that we can obviously get the fairy thing, but also so that we can pretty much skip the entirety of this room. The whole point of this room is that there are a bunch of, like, seesaws, basically, and you're supposed to use the fire arrows and ice arrows on these little, like, water spouts or waterfalls in the ceilings to make them lift one side or something like that, and you're supposed to sort of climb up the room like that. But of course, I mean, we completely skipped that, so yeah. Now I think, is this right? It doesn't, no, this is bad. Okay, I'm gonna just cut until I get it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that looked a lot better. Okay, took me a bit to remember how to do the weird shot, I guess. But yeah, so this chest right here has the fairy in it that I was talking about. And now there is actually one more fairy in this room, and there's a really cool way we can get this. If we sort of just walk up this, try to line ourselves up with just this wall, as soon as we jump up then, if we drop a bomb chew, it will sort of follow the wall down just like a bomb chew is supposed to do, obviously. But then it will blow up at just the right time so that it will blow open a barrel that's underneath the water there, which has the fairy in it, and it's just a really fast way of getting this fairy right there. You can kind of see it there. Yeah, the way you're normally supposed to do it, obviously, is you're supposed to just go down there with the Zora armor. Zora armor? Can I get the right Zelda game, please? With the Zora mask, and actually, like, roll or break it open just using the Zora. But yeah, just doing that, we can break it open remotely, and it's really nice. But yeah, anyways, now we're in this room, and we've got a bunch of fairies. Actually, most of the reason that we have to go through, like, any of this dungeon, pretty much, is just because of stray fairies. We actually could go straight to the final boss if we really wanted to. There are some nice glitches that we can do just to get straight to the final boss from the start. But, of course, I mean, this is 100%, we have to get all the fairies. But even without that, like, we just have to go, most of the rooms that we go into, we only go into because there's a fairy in it. That wasn't quite the case with the Woodfall Temple, but yeah. Anyways, so now right here, we're back in this room, if you'll recognize it. We actually have to use the ice arrows. Wow, the ice arrows actually have a use in this game. I know, right? It's, yeah, so we have to do this. Now, this is actually a bit of an oversight in programming, or in design, I guess, not programming. But yeah, basically, we can just kind of jump up there using one of the ice flows and completely skip having to do this fight. But of course, as you can see, this is the second mini-boss fight, and it is, Gecko, that's his name. Yeah, it's another Gecko, just like there was in the Woodfall Temple. And if you'll remember, whenever you defeat a Gecko, it turns into a frog. And you have to get all the frogs and send them back to Snow Peak in order... Snow Peak? And I get the right Zelda game. Snowhead. And, just so that you can get a heart piece. So yeah, we actually do have to do this fight, unfortunately. But yeah. Otherwise, we would just completely skip this fight and just grab the boss key. But yeah, anyways. So this Gecko fight, if you'll notice, is a lot different than the other Gecko fight was, which I actually really like how they actually changed it up. But yeah, basically, yeah, you're supposed to shoot that little ball of, I don't even know what that is, slime or something. Yeah, you just have to do that, or shoot that with the ice arrows. It falls down and breaks, and then you can just kind of go ham on him. Actually, I'm kind of surprised that shot just actually worked. Usually the edges don't really work very well, but I guess it did. But yeah, anyways, so there we go. Gecko is done, and that's the fight there. So yeah, we're going to be sending that guy back to the Snowhead with a Donjero's mask, and then we'll be out of here. Now, one thing that I've sort of neglected to mention throughout this entire episode is that you'll notice I still have my Razor Sword. If you'll know what the Razor Sword is, I mentioned it earlier, this is the sword where basically if you slash it or hit something 100 times, it will go back to the original sword that you had, and you'd have to basically re-upgrade it or something like that. So yeah, we have to be a little bit careful. Fortunately though, if you do a spin attack, it actually doesn't increase the counter for hits. It doesn't actually count as hitting anything. So by doing just mostly spin attacks, we can actually avoid ever having this thing get destroyed. So yeah, that's basically, it looks a little bit risky, but it's actually pretty safe. But anyways, so yeah, now we are going to be coming up here. Up this ladder there's another barrel, and you guessed it, it's got another stray fairy in it. I think we're almost done with these, aren't we? We have 12 now? Yeah, 12. Okay. And now, I think it's now. Oh, no, not quite yet. We have one more thing we have to do first. Oh, okay. I got really scared there for a second. I thought I fell down. But yeah, so right here we actually have to go and we have to get yet another fairy. There's just one more really to get in the entirety of the dungeon. The last two are in the same room, and they're like the last room before the boss. So yeah, this is the last one we have to do. We just have to freeze that little waterfall. I'm pretty sure that's not how physics works, but I'll let it slide this time. But yeah, in this room we have one more stray fairy. It's actually way up in the top of this room. There's like sort of a grating or rafter that you can walk on up there. And yeah, we have to get up there, but we're going to be doing it a bit of an unintended way. What we're going to be doing right here, as you can see, I'm sort of aiming right at the very edge of that, and then I'm going to be doing a jump attack. Now, I missed it there. This is actually a pretty precise trick. I'm not quite sure how to get it consistently. I think the biggest thing, though, is that you have to be, like, at the very edge, and then you also have to jump slash, like, as early as possible. Yeah, right there. So then you can just get up there. Normally, you're supposed to go to the other side of the room using the ice arrows, and then kind of hookshot up from there, but it's that takes a lot of time, so yeah, we just don't do that. Anyways, now we are at my least favorite part of this entire dungeon. This one part, if I can not fall down all the time, this one part, though, is pretty much the reason why this episode is so late coming out. The rest of this episode, or this entire dungeon really, it's not that hard. It's mostly just remembering a route and just a few sort of kind of hard tricks, but if you know how to, like, hover and whatnot, it's not that hard. This trick is the worst. This is probably the worst trick I've ever had to learn in Okay, I won't say the worst trick I've ever had to learn ever. I've had to learn stuff in Twilight Princess before, and I think that takes this one, but this is a very annoying trick. This is actually called turn screw skip or something like that. Basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a hover here. Oops, I just failed. Yeah, so we want to hover out of bounds. Basically, the whole premise of this trick is that we want to... This is the final skip for turning... doing the turn screw skip base. The turn screw skips. Yeah, it's really annoying. So basically what we have to do is we have to do an out of bounds hover here. And right there, we kind of have to backflip and then let us fall a bit of a distance. And then it's pretty much impossible to see what's going on right now. If you look at the mini-map, you can kind of see what's going on. But basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to turn directions. If you noticed earlier, I unlocked my camera. I locked onto the bomb shoe right before it exploded. And so, yeah, now I'm just trying to turn myself around. And the way you actually are supposed to do that is you're supposed to sort of start walking in a bit of a direction and then let go of all directions so that you start moving towards the neutral direction that you were in originally. And then you want to hold in the opposite direction. And then that should hopefully make you turn around. And now I just want to do... Ooh, this looks bad. I want to do a little bit... or more hovers out of bounds. And... Oh, I don't have any chews left. Ooh, yeah. This is really not going to go over well. I don't think I'm going to get this. And there we go. Okay, I failed. So yeah, basically, what makes this trick absolutely the worst is the fact that it is, first off, a hover. Hovers are a little bit risky, especially if you run out of bomb shoes, because hovers with bombs are pretty difficult. Or at least not as easy. And then the other thing is, of course, because you have to fall a distance, the camera isn't locked onto you anymore. So you can't actually see what's going on. So you basically have to do a blind, out-of-bounds hover with a direction change. And on top of all of that, like, you have to basically land within a certain, like, area and then do another glitch that we have, that I'll be showing later. It's brutal. But... Anyways, so right here, basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be leaving the dungeon, going to Clock Town here, and I'm going to be buying more bomb shoes. I'm going to be buying 20 bomb shoes because I really need bomb shoes for this glitch. If I don't have them, I am not going to be able to do it. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'll actually just cut to back when I'm back at Great Bay Temple. Alright, we're back. So basically one thing that I didn't quite mention about this trick is that there are just so many things that can go wrong with this trick. First off, I mean, obviously you could fail the hover, or just, like, not unlock your camera and so you can't turn around, or you could, if you don't fall far enough when you have to fall in this hover, if you don't fall far enough, you'll clip back in bounds when you're doing the hover. If you fall too far, you'll actually void out, or you'll clip into another room. But then there's also the fact that if the camera, or if the map there, you'll notice the turn screw, or the whirlpool room is loaded. If the room before it is loaded, you actually won't be able to land in the place that we need to land in here. And it completely ruins the trick, even if you got it right. And so it's so annoying. But anyways, that aside, right here I'm actually trying to do a new glitch. Right there, I just got it. That is actually called an Ocarina Dive. Basically, what you need to do with that glitch is, it's really annoying. I'm still not 100% sure how exactly it works, but the biggest thing about it is that you need to start moving, and then you need to start mashing the button that you have your ocarina on. And through doing that, for some reason, just the fact that you're moving, it will make you fall while playing the ocarina. If you try pulling out the ocarina without moving, you will just cancel ISG, basically, and you'll just start falling. And I think in that case, I would have voided out, or maybe I would have clipped into a room. I can't remember which would happen. I think the void out would have happened. But yeah, it completely ruins the trick. So that's another thing that can go wrong, is if you just somehow, for some reason, can't get the glitch there, the Ocarina Dive. It's so dumb. I really just can't say enough bad stuff about turn screw skip. It is easily my least favorite trick in any game I've ever had to learn, and that's saying something, especially since I've speedrun. I used to speedrun Twilight Princess, and that one's got some really annoying tricks in it. But anyways, enough ranting about that. We are finally at the end of the dungeon. I should stop attacking things because I might break my sword. Anyways, so yeah. Now that all that's done, of course, I can't actually turn the, like what you're supposed to do there is you're supposed to turn that final turn screw, and what that does is it just, again, just like in the first room, it sort of creates this little water spout that you can jump across, but of course you need to have turned every other turn screw in the dungeon in order for that one to work. Of course, we didn't turn any of them, so we just have to do a hover past all of that. So yeah, now that that's done, finally, we can go and fight Georg. So yeah, we just did a nice little jump slash into there just for the cool effect there. But yeah, now one thing that I'm not doing for... The reason I didn't do it was because I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. Basically, you can actually skip this little opening cutscene. Sort of, if you remember, or if you know, in Ocarina of Time, there's the Bongo Bongo cutscene skip, where basically what you need to do is you need to, like, drop a bomb down the hole, and then wait for it to explode, Bongo Bongo, and then you need to start attacking him. Well, it's sort of similar to that, kind of, where basically you need to attack Georg before you even fall down. And in order to do that, you actually would do a weird shot with the bow and arrow, and then shoot him while he's down there. But it's really difficult because it's pretty much impossible to find out where Georg is in the water. He's always in the same spot, but it's a really precise shot, and I couldn't figure out how to get it, so I never actually did it. So yeah. But anyways, now this fight right here is pretty much, it's pretty annoying. This was actually my least favorite fight casually, but now that I've started, well, using the speedrun method, it's actually not that hard. Basically what you want to do is you want to wait for him to start dashing at you. That'll give him some momentum so that he moves into the wall, and then you can actually just start attacking him, and then if he's close enough, which he wasn't there, usually he will be, but you can sort of combo him. Basically, you can just, like, you can sort of keep swimming between him and the wall, and you'll never bonk into anything, and then you just kind of swim up with him while using your magic attack there, and you can just continuously hit him, basically. He will still do his second phase there, where he spits out his babies there, or her, I don't even know. Whatever, he spits out a bunch of fish. It spits out a bunch of fish, whatever. So yeah, but that's basically just what the strat is for this fight. It's nothing really that complicated, but yeah, you also do have to watch out for, if you saw, the Georg actually ate me in that case, or in that little area there, so you want to avoid that, obviously, but yeah, it's not that bad. Especially, like, casually, I remember one time I had 4 bottles or something like that. I got 4 fairies, and I still couldn't beat this boss when I was doing it casually. Maybe it was because I was 10 and I couldn't play video games properly, but yeah, that's basically why I don't like this boss very much. I mean, I haven't warmed up to him, but I mean, it's since gotten easier, so I don't really mind him so much anymore. But yeah, anyways, I think we have maybe one more hit, and actually I'm getting low on health. I'm a little nervous here. But yeah, yeah, I think he's just got one more hit, though, so I think we're good. Just want to go down here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, he's got one more hit. Now we just get to watch him flop around and randomly shrink. Why do a lot of bosses seem to shrink whenever you kill them? That doesn't usually happen when you kill something. Usually it kind of just, you know, dies. And I mean, I could understand exploding, but shrinking? That doesn't quite make sense. But whatever. I guess this is Zelda logic. But yeah, there, we can just get the heart container and go and collect Georg's mask and finally be done with this dungeon. I cannot just express how much I hate this dungeon, at least in the speedrun. Casually, I mean, it was annoying casually because of just how complicated this dungeon is, but in a speedrun, it's no better because it's so hard. But whatever. So this is, I believe, our second, Giants cutscene, and yeah, I'm just gonna skip it because we don't need to watch this. Alright, so now that this cutscene is done, that is actually gonna be the end of the episode. This is a really long one, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click that like button. If you didn't, fine, click the dislike button. Follow me on all the links in the description, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye!